Hello and welcome everybody to our Starter 2 Wings of Advance card-by-card guide here for the Gundam card game. Starter 1 should be up on the channel already, so if you're curious about how to play that deck and what is in it, you can go check that out. But we're going to look at, in this video, Starter number 2. It's a green-blue Gundam Wing-focused deck, so I think this one's going to be pretty popular for a lot of people. A lot of us grew up with Gundam Wing on Toonami back in the day. I know I did. The Tall Geese is one of my favorite mobile suit designs of all time, so I'm excited to dig into this one. I've seen a lot of the cards as they've been revealed, but honestly, I kind of kept from myself seeing the full list. So I'm going to kind of be reacting to it and seeing it as you are. But what we're going to do is go card by card, analyze everything, and then talk about tips and tricks on how to play the deck well, because we're going into the starter deck events coming up this next weekend. So hopefully this helps a lot of people out. And keep in mind, there's a chance we could get the all foil version of the same card. So that would be pretty sick if we get lucky and see that. We'll see if we do or not. But let's rip into this and see what we get. I'm always like, I know I say this on every video, but I feel like this is just the best way to do it. You know, you just kind of rip it open, right? You get the, we'll go over this a little bit quickly here, but of course you get the rules guide, and this is like a play mat as well in case you you need that. And there is a 1 out of 16, I believe it is, alternate foil treatment pack in each one. So it's just one card, but you get sort of an alternate foiling or sometimes alternate art version of some of the cards in the packs. But man, ripping these packs on the side just always kills me. I need to get like a scissors or something, because I'm like, I always feel like I'm going to destroy it. So what do we get? What do we get? It is the, okay, it's the Ares. All right, there you go. Pretty neat. And you get this alternate, sort of like, it's sort of a textured foil treatment. I'm trying to show it on the camera, but it does look really good in person. But we'll get into this card later, because it is one of the cards in the starter deck. But there's our special foil for this one. But yeah, let's check out the cards. So basically what I'm going to do is, if I can slip this plastic off, is we're going to go card by card, talk about each one individually, and then we're going to look at the deck as a whole and talk about what you can think about if you're piloting this deck in the starter event. Now, one thing to, I suppose we can add here. Let's see, we'll do this. We've got the resources here. And so you need 10 resources to play the game. There you go. You need your EX base to start the game with, and then if you go second, you need your EX resource. Now, big thing with the EX resource right off the bat is that cards in this game have a level and a cost. Your level is how many resources you need to have in play to play the card, and your cost is how many resources you need to turn sideways to play the card, right? So this allows you, if you have the EX resource, to play a card potentially a turn early. Since it's one use, though, when you use this resource, you will go down in levels. So keep that in mind. That's something that catches a lot of new players. When you're using the EX resource, always remember, always be aware of what level you're at when you're using it, because you don't want to end up using it and then being like, oh, well, now I don't have the level I need to play this pilot or whatever. So keep that in mind. We also have our token units here. We've got the Leo, and which is kind of, you know, like a mini Tall Geese. Not mini Tall Geese, like less, you know, less embellished Tall Geese. Leo token, and then the Tall Geese token as well. Oh, I love the Tall Geese. Such a cool mobile suit. But let's get into it. So, oh yeah, you also get the tokens too, because there is damage persistence in this game, and so you need to track damage. That's kind of cool. It gets like darker as it goes on. 4 damage is scary, so it's a darker red. I like that. But let's take a look at our first card in this. We have the Wing Gundam. This is level 6, cost 4. This is one of our 2 legend rares in the set right now. You get 2 of these. Breach 5. So Breach is going to be a big mechanic with this deck. Basically, Breach is when you destroy an enemy unit. I'll just read it off the card, and that's easier, right? When this unit's attack destroys an enemy unit, deal the specified amount of damage to the first card in that opponent's shield area. So the reason it says first card is because you can potentially also damage the base that's there. If there is no base, you just hit a shield. If there is a base, you do 5 damage. And, you know, because you do the amount of damage in the breach sort of indicator there. And 5 damage will kill any base in the game in 1 hit. So breach 5 is huge, right? So this is a big one. But the ability that this card has is also so good. This unit may choose an active enemy unit that is level 4 or lower as its attack target. Normally, you can only attack unit to unit if the unit you're attacking is rested already. So being able to attack an enemy unit, even though it's, you know, level 4 or lower, that does limit it a little bit. does let you have a good chance of both killing a unit and activating the breach damage to your opponent's shield area. So very, very powerful card in just terms of pure aggression, right? We also have the Link unit of Hero Yui, of course. We'll get to that a little bit later on, but you get 2 of those. So one of your powerhouse cards for sure. And one of the themes with this game is, or not this game, with this deck, is just going to be aggression, fighting unit to unit, and using that breach. But let's take a look at the bad guy. I mean, a lot of times there's not really bad guys and good guys in Gundams. There are some evil people, but there's just a lot of differing points of view. So here we have Zex Marquis Tall Geese here. Our other Legend Rare in the set, you get 2 of these, of course. And I do have to say the foiling and the art on the Legend Rares are really, really nice. I love the art in this game. I love that they didn't just do a lot of screen grabs, that it's all original art. That definitely piqued my interest with this, despite just being kind of a Gundam fan anyway. But we've got the Tall Geese here. Level 5, cost 4. Activate main once per turn. Pay 4 and set this unit as active. Whoa, that is crazy, right? Because it's a 4/4 stat line already, which is pretty solid. But getting to attack and then paying 4 and getting to attack again with this is kind of insane. You've got Zex Marquis as the Link pilot, but yeah, wow, what a powerful card right there too. So, remember in ST01, we had a lot of slow build defensive stuff. I did not get the foil version of the deck, by the way. It's the non-foil, but that's okay because it's a long shot anyway. All right. But we have our Wing Gundam bird form. This was one of my favorite cards in the beta environment, and here's why. Level 3, cost 3, 2/2, great. Hero Yui, Link unit, great. But on deploy, place an EX resource. Now remember, we talked about how strong the EX resources are in giving you a higher level. That's the big thing with this, right? Is that you end up kind of ramping a little bit. And green does include a little bit of ramp. Green's theme in this deck, or in this game, seems to more or less be based around a bit of ramping and a bit of breach, right? So this is the ramping side of that. The EX resource gives you that extra level. It also gives you that extra one-time resource to spend. So having 4 of these in the deck is very important, I think, because this is a core card in terms of getting to things like your Wing Gundam a little bit quicker than your opponent can handle, right? Our next card is the Gundam Heavy Arms. Wow. I mean, all the Gundam Wing... All right, say what you will about Gundam Wing's story and the melodrama and all that. The mobile suit design is just some of the best in the entire franchise. And here we have the Heavy Arms. Level 5, 3 cost... during pair, so this means while you have a pilot paired to this unit, during your turn when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, deal 1 damage to all enemy units that are level 3 or lower. Wow, so you get some nice AoE damage here. That can clear some of those like level 1 chump blockers, sometimes the demi-trainers that we see in like Starter 1 or something. Or potentially it can finish off a unit or set up a situation where you can get a good trade. So another pretty powerful just board, hitting unit, right? I like it. And then Link unit Trobarton, of course. Yeah. 3/4 stat line too. You get 4 of those. Pretty core card in the deck, I would imagine. Now we get 3 of the Gundam Sandrock, level 4, 2 cost. Quattro Reburba winner, of course. And 4/3 is a stat line here. It's a little bit higher attack than defense. I think a good, just solid high attack unit to play a little bit earlier. If you can play the Link unit, fantastic, right? Then you get to that benefit. But, this seems like the type of mobile suit that can take down bases fairly easily. This seems like your type of mobile suit that you're going to be threatening other mobile suits on the other side of the board with. So that little bit higher attack, I think, is going to be something your opponent's going to need to worry about a little bit. And we have the Maganak. So the level 2, cost 2, 3/2. So if you have the EX resource, you could theoretically play one of these on your first turn, and 3 attack does take out the EX base that everybody starts with. So I think there's a legitimate reason. Normally I advocate for not using your EX resource on the first turn, but if you have this in your hand, maybe it's not a bad idea to go for it, right? If you feel like you're going to get a clear attack into your opponent's EX base. It's a risk. It's a risky move, no doubt about it. I don't know if I can recommend it, but I think it's something to think about at least in certain game states, right? But also connected to the Sandrock that we'll see later if they put the that synergy in this starter. I'm not sure if they did or not. There's a Sandrock that plays Maganak Core from your hand. You've got the Leo, basic grunt unit here, 2/2 for a 2/2. It does have the Oz trait Link ability too, though, which is kind of nice. So if you play an Oz pilot on it, you do get to attack with it the turns it comes into play. So Potentially a little bit more of a mid to late game application here, where even though it's a smaller unit, you can play it, then play a pilot on it. And if it's Oz, you get that attack, right? So I do like that we have the flexibility of the Oz trait here too. And you get 4 of those, by the way. All right, then we have the card that we got the alternate foiling of, the Ares. Here it is. We'll talk about that one now. You get 3 of them in the starter deck. It is a blocker, 2 for 2 level, 2 cost blocker, and then 2/1 stat line. No link or anything like that. Just a chump blocker essentially, right? With a little bit of extra power, so it incentivizes you to maybe place a pilot on it, just to make your opponent's attacks a little bit more costly. And I think it's okay. I like that it has the higher attack, because you can maybe get a little bit more out of it if you decide to attack with it instead of save it as a blocker. But this is a card that I'm fairly certain you'll just use as a speed bump in front of your opponent, right? Probably not going to be getting a lot done on its own. And then we have, we have our final mobile suit in the deck, the Tragos. 1/1 for a 1/1 blocker. Oh, okay, I didn't know. Blue has a chump blocker as well. Cool, all right. So little Oz mobile suit here. And yeah, this is great. So I'm surprised that we actually have 2 different kind of chump-ish blockers in this. I guess with the breach, that helps a little bit. And there's so much awesome breach stuff in green that this is a deck, I think, that if you really love the wing stuff, you can buy it and then expand on it, right? With the stuff in the first set of booster packs. But yeah, I like to see little chump blockers. Again, played at the right time can potentially be game winning, right? Your opponent needs that final attack. You throw a blocker in front of them, and they can't do it. We're getting to our first pilot card in the deck, and it is none other than Hero Yui saying, "You must be this tall to ride the Gundam." Level 4, 1 cost, burst, add this card to your hand. Pretty much all the pilots I've seen have burst, which is if you play One Piece, the trigger equivalent, right? Where when it comes out of your life, you can do the thing, right? Which in this case is put it in your hand. During Link, this unit gets AP +1 and HP +1. So if you pair Hero to the Wing Gundam, it gets an extra 1/1. So you have +2 +1, but you see a little logo there. That means that you get even more. So we'll just pair this up and take a look at what that could be, and apply this to the bird mode too. But if you get it on the big time Wing Gundam, this is going to be it starts out as 6/6, right? But you get the extra +1, so it actually ends up being 7/7, which is huge, right? That is a big mobile suit. So 3 Hero Yuis +2 +1 is just a good stat line to add onto a mobile suit either way. And I think one of the things to keep in mind when you're playing this game is that you don't always need to wait for the Link units. Link units are great, but sometimes just getting those stats onto any old mobile suit can mean the difference, right? Between having a good turn or a bad turn. We also get 4 of the other kind of marquee pilot in the deck, shall we say. It's Zex Marquee, level 5, 1 cost, +2 +1, and then during Link, during your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, draw 1. So it is easy to kind of run yourself out of cards in the mid to late game in this game once in a while. So having access to card draw is really, really nice, especially when you're playing a deck that's more on the aggressive side like this one is. So that is a pretty cool ability for Zex to have there. I'm totally not Char of the alternate universe timeline here. Or did I say Char? Oh my gosh, it's early in the morning. I'm still waking up. It's Char. Char, I'm so sorry. Char Osnable. All right. We got Troll Barton, Pilot of the Heavy Arms, as our first command/pilot card. So if you're unfamiliar with these are cards that can be played either as a one-time use command card or as a pilot card, where you just slide them under the mobile suit like usual. So as a command card, during your main phase, choose one of your units. It gains Breach 3 during this turn. So remember, again, Breach is that ability that lets us hit our opponent's life area or shield area when we destroy one of their mobile suits, right? And we get to hit them for the number in the breach box. So in this case, it's 3. Gives +1/+1 to a mobile suit as a pilot. So, nice little stat buff. Or, I really love giving the breach ability to a unit when I play Troa here. If you don't have him to put on the heavy arms, great little command card to throw in there and, soak a little bit of extra value out of an attack. Next, we have our second command/pilot card, Peaceful Timber, Quattro Burba winner, level 4, cost 1, and then also is played during action windows. So these are generally played on your opponent's turn during battles and things like that. So in this particular case, if you use it as a command card, You can do during battle, your shield area cards can't receive damage from enemy units that are level 4 or lower. So this could potentially stuff a big mid-game attack. It doesn't protect your units per se, but it does protect your shield area, and that includes your bases, right? So if you're swinging in with an attack that would kill your 5 HP base and you can just stuff that attack, that can really derail the rest of someone's turn. So don't underestimate the power of this command card. Alternatively, you can play it as a pilot on the Sandrock and get that link, or you can just play it, in general to give something +1/+1. So again, love the flexibility. Now, moving on to our command card here. We have two just basic straight-up command cards. Siege Ploy, level 3, 1 cost. Burst, so if it comes out of life, you get to just activate the card. Choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP, rest it. So being in blue, we see a lot of resting abilities. And again, this is just kind of a nice thing where, say they have multiple attacks. This comes out of your life from a hit that they've dealt with you. They have more attacks coming. You can just rest pretty much any mobile suit in the game. Most mobile suits, even with pilots, unless they're the very high-end ones, are going to have 5 or less HP. So this is a good way to just save yourself a little bit of damage, which kind of gives us a clue to the themes of the deck here as we near our final cards in the deck, which are our bases. So first we have the St. Gabriel Institute, and that's level 2, cost 2, 5 HP. Burst, deploy this card, and then deploy, add one of your shields to your hand, as usual. Then look at the top 2 cards of your deck and return 1 to the top and 1 to the bottom. So you get to do a little bit of deck filtering, which if you're looking for the right pilot, you're looking for the right mobile suit, that can be helpful. But the main benefit of bases, of course, is that you're replacing a 1 HP shield with a 5 HP shield, essentially. So, and you get to draw a card, right? Because you get to draw that shield into your hands. So you get to essentially... playing bases is just great in this game because you draw one of your shields into your hand, so you get to draw a card. Essentially, you're replacing what you're playing here. And then you, like I said, turn that 1 HP shield into a 5 HP shield. So just make yourself a little bit more durable. So don't be afraid to play bases. It's generally always a good thing. And then finally, we have our final card in the deck, 3 of the Corsica base, level 3, 3 cost, 5 HP, the Oz Stronghold, of course. And then Burst, deploy this card as usual. Deploy one of your shields or add one of your shields to your hand. Then, if it's your turn, deploy 1 Tallgeese AP4 HP2 token unit. If it's your turn and a card with Corsica base and its card name is in your trash, deploy 2 Leo 1/1 tokens instead. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. That's kind of cool. All right. So when this comes into play, it does different things depending on if it's, let's see, if it's your turn. Yeah, if it is your turn. All right. So if you have like another Corsica base in your trash, you get to do a different thing, right? So basically, if you play this and there is no Corsica base in the trash, you get to play a Tallgeese token. If you play this and there is a Corsica base in the trash, you get 2 1/1s. So kind of a neat alternate ability there to build the board a little bit there. And so that is our deck. So let's talk about a little bit how to play this. So this one is going to be a more aggressive deck, right? But like Starter 1, you're still going to want to focus a lot of attention on your opponent's board if you have Breach. So the general idea is that you're going to be going into shields, but you also have to be very aware of when it's going to be better to do those value trades, especially when it comes to Breach, right? Now, our 2 sources of Breach in this deck are our high-end Legend Rare, and then our command card as well, Simultaneous Fire, right? None of the other cards have Breach naturally, although there is a lot of that in the expansion. So once you pick up some booster packs, you can, enhance this to have a lot more of that kind of thing. But for the purposes of the starter, you're going to want to try to go to base as much as possible, but you're also going to be looking for opportunities to use Breach to make a trade on the board, but also deal damage to their shield area. So value trades are the name of the game. And with persistent damage, you really want to think about what are opportunities I can create where I can go 2 for 1, right? Where I'm able to remove 2 of their units for 1 of my unit, right? Either that's attacking into something of theirs when you have Breach, taking it out in a way that your unit lives, you do the Breach damage to the shields, and then they still have to do something to deal with their unit. That's a good way to go 2 for 1. Or, just present a situation where you build a big unit, right, with a Wing Gundam in Hero or something, or Tallgeese and Zex Marquis, where you can attack into the base and be what they call the beatdown in card games and make them come to you. that's a big thing to keep in mind with this deck is the classic TCG concept of who's the beatdown. And what that means is who is the player who can be the attacker, right? When you look at the two board states, their units versus my units, right? Can I attack them and then they feel enough pressure that they will attack my units instead of my life? Or do they have the advantage and it's on me to reduce the units on their side so that it will be then safe later to attack into their life? Who has the advantage? Who is the beatdown? In a lot of cases, you should be the beatdown with this deck. This deck is made to be the beatdown, right? So look for those opportunities. But again, just be very aware of when you need to do those value trades on board. But generally, you're going to be wanting to be a little bit more aggressive with this one. It's not a go wide, crazy aggressive, but it is a deck that wants to, be putting more pressure on your opponent's life and making them come to you, making them attack your units instead of your life. So finding ways to set that up is key. The other little part about it is making sure you save resources for playing the blockers when you need to, right? Sometimes you have a unit that you don't want them to attack into, right? You've got a lot of attack on your side, but they can clear it fairly efficiently. That's a turn where, instead of maybe playing more stuff for attacks on their shields, you throw one of these blockers in the way, right? So that you can get your attack in, and then you know that when they attack you, they're probably going to have to run into the blockers. Now, obviously, there's command cards and things like that can mess all that up, but the general principle is sound, right? Where you're attacking, and then if you feel like you're going to lose an important mobile suit, make sure you save resources for a blocker. Otherwise, watch for opportunities to use Breach to both kill a unit and do damage to their shield area. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of insight on how to play the deck when you go to your starter event later this week. If you have any questions, let me know in the description below or in the comments below, and I'll answer those as fast as I possibly can. I'm so excited to finally get to play this game out in the wild. Outside of the beta environment. It's going to be great. Like and subscribe if you could, please. And look for soon Starter Decks 3 and 4. We're going to do the same thing. So hopefully you enjoyed this. We'll see you next time. Hey, it's me, Tiny Doa, over here in the corner. Check out these awesome shirts. These are from Into the AM. I have partnered with them because I really genuinely love their clothing. And right now, through the 7th of July, they have their 4th of July sale going where you can get up to 60% off site-wide, as you can see. And on top of that, you can get another 10% off if you use my link and my code below. The code is GGDOA, by the way. But the link is below in the description, so you'll be able to see it. Thanks for sticking around a little bit longer to listen to this. Go check out Into the AM. I love their stuff. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.